As we get closer to Holy Week, the scriptures are ramping up kind of the conflict, the divide, the question about who is Jesus, his identity, whether he's the Son of God, the Anointed One, as he claims and his followers do, or whether he's certainly an honorable religious figure, maybe a prophet, but doesn't rise to the level of the Messiah, or if he's just an imitator, a liar, and dangerous and should be eliminated. The prophet Jeremiah in the first reading already foresees this coming, right? This tension about the identity even the prophets went through, right? He's reflecting internally, and the reading kind of has three different parts. Initially, he's saying, I knew their plot because the Lord informed me. The interior conversation of the prophet, right? I knew, O Lord, because you showed me their doings. And yet he trusts, right? Like a lamb led to the slaughter. He realizes the plot that's being hatched, right? And what is that plot? And then it goes on to the interior speak of the enemy, of those plotting against him. They're thinking to themselves, let's destroy him. Like a tree in his vigor, let's cut him off, right? So that no one will talk about him anymore. And then it goes back to Jeremiah, the prophet's attitude towards this betrayal, towards this plan that's being hatched against him. Turns his heart and mind to the Lord. You, O Lord of hosts, you're the just judge. You search mine heart. You know what's going on. And I'm just going to watch you. I'm going to witness the vengeance you take, right? I'm not going to take vengeance into my own hand. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm going to let you, who knows what's going on, you judge it justly. And then you take vengeance. Because I trust you. I haven't trusted my cause to you. You're my advocate, my defender, my just judge. That's the attitude of the prophet. It's the attitude of Jesus as well. We look at the Gospel of John. It's helpful when you're reading the Gospel of John to one of the key themes of interpreting the Gospel is it is a trial. John structures his whole Gospel often in that trial, right? You have judges, you have witnesses, you have the accused, you have the evidence, the works, and the words of Jesus. And that runs all throughout. From the beginning, the prophet John, or John the Baptist, spoke, proclaimed his identity, and then the apostles are trying to figure out who he is. Well, come follow me. Who are you? Where do you stay? Well, come observe the evidence. Come follow me. Come stay with me. And then they do. And all throughout, there's just last week's Sunday gospel, right? The healing of the blind man. What do you say? What do the parents say? What's their witness? What did you see? Well, all I know is this. Well, how do you interpret it? I don't know. Interpret it for yourselves. So it's this debate that's going back about Jesus. He's on trial. You have those who defend him. You have those who don't. Jesus also says, hey, I know what's going on in the heart of man. I don't need anyone to defend me. I know, right? Let the works, let the words. And he talks about judgment and God's judgment. And you judge for yourselves what's going on. And perhaps the kingdom of God is among you if you judge justly. And it goes all the way up to Pilate, right? Who do you say that I am? Well, it's the people that say this about you. Well, you've spoken truly, right? Jesus is always kind of putting the evidence and allowing it to happen, just like the prophet. I'm not going to defend myself. Let you decide. The evidence, the words, the miracles. And so it is even in today's gospel. Some saying he's a prophet, some saying he's the Christ, right? Some saying, well, wait a second, but he comes from Galilee. That doesn't make sense. Isn't he supposed to come from Bethlehem? And he just lets it play out, right? And then the guards go to the chief priest. Well, we thought you're supposed to arrest him and bring him here to be judged. Well, no one's spoken his power and his words. This is something different, right? But do you believe? It's just back and forth. This is playing out for us all during Lent because it's really the dynamic that's going on in our heart. As we face our temptations, as we offer up our sacrifices, as we detach ourselves from areas of sin, it's the dialogue that goes, is this really worth it? Is Jesus worth it? Is he who he says he is? Can he really satisfy me and make me happy? The interior trial goes on in our own hearts and mind continuously. And in the end, Jesus often doesn't send a magic wand. He doesn't burst in and say, yes, of course I'm worth it. Please. He's like, you've seen the words, you've seen the works. You decide. He leaves us space for faith and generosity. Even Nicodemus, like, do we condemn? Let's hear him out. Let him speak to us. And so we come to the chapel in adoration. Lord, this is what I'm experiencing. Speak. Defend yourself. Rise up, right? And Jesus does that from the cross for sure, and then from the power of the resurrection, which he will reveal to us. So as we continue our Lenten journey, let's not resolve too quickly the drama. Jesus will not swoop in, nor should we. Let's be patient. Let the Lord work. Let the Lord speak. If we're on retreat, the men in the back, be patient. Let the Lord speak. Go at his pace. Allow him to step forward, to speak, to do words and actions, and answer the question about who he is and what he's asking of us.